This topic never gets old because people fail the PMP exam every day. But what I hear from people is, I feel like jumping off the wagon. I feel like not doing it anymore. You cannot afford to give up. I ask you, what is your risk appetite for the PMP exam? How much risk are you willing to take on to pursue this opportunity of getting certified? How much inconvenience are you willing to take on? How much burden are you willing to take on? How many additional books are you willing to take on to read, to conquer? How much tolerance for ambiguity are you willing to face to put this exam to rest once and for all? What is your risk appetite? If you tell me you feel like jumping off the wagon, you don't feel like doing this anymore, you've had enough, it tells me your appetite to get certified is rather low. But if you tell me, no matter what it takes, I'm going to stay on that wagon, I'm going to hold that wagon tight, I'm going to ride that wagon until I get to the finish line. If that is your mindset, then the chances of you getting certified eventually are much higher. Think about it for a second. The PMP exam is not unreachable. It is not an exam that was created by some extraterrestrial beings that is so far beyond you. So, hey, if you got the PMP exam shocker at the end of the exam by them telling you, sorry, you didn't pass, that should be a signal to you to refire in efforts. Why would you let a mere exam written by your peers diminish you, diminish your intelligence, diminish your importance, diminish your aptitude to manage projects, your abilities to manage projects? That's foolishness. So if you fail the exam, get real with yourself. This is your career as a project manager. The exam is not going away. So do everything that you can to get this thing done. Don't give up. Giving up is the step towards failure right from the get-go, because it will always come back to haunt you. Just like an exam that gave me a headache came back to haunt me over and over again. I failed it the first time. I failed it the second time. The third time, I decided to take the father of all of those exams, which was a much bigger exam, still in the professional space. I went ahead, planned, did everything that I could, and boom, I achieved success. I changed one thing in my prep, and that was who I studied with, the material I studied. There was a store back in the day, it was a computer store. I can't remember what it's called now, but the exam that I'm talking about was taken in this particular computer store. I remember going there, spending money twice, and not getting the results I wanted. This was even before the world of PMP for me. But when I decided to take an even bigger exam, that's when my survival instincts kicked in. I said, I will survive this exam. I will conquer this exam. I went in and I succeeded. So whatever you need to do to get this exam done, change your plan, change your instructor. Lots of you are still with your same old instructor, and this isn't an advert for you to come study with me. But whatever you do, do not study with someone that cannot hold you accountable. Do not study with someone who's telling you, do not read the PMBOK guide. Do not study with someone who diminishes your importance by not paying attention to what you need as you study. And do not study with anyone that is not passionate about the exam, because that lack of passion will permeate into whatever you're studying with them. It's your friend Phil here, keeping it real for you. Do not give up on the exam. If you're a project manager, if you see the future in project management, you have absolutely no business giving up on this exam. I want to alert you to the fact that this exam is not going away. Some people say, oh, but the PMP exam now has 1 million people, almost 1 million people are certified. And that is a very valid point. But do you know that in 2020, there will be a talent gap beginning to widen even more. You might want to read about this on PMI's website. It's called the Talent Gap 2020. I'm going to put a link below to call your attention to the importance of this, because I know some people think, oh, well, the PMP exam will probably go away. Agile is here and all that jazz. Get with the program. It's not called predictive life cycle professional, is it? It's called project management professional, right? It's called project management professional. And that's why you need to see this exam for what it is. It's an exam for project management professionals, whether you're predictive, whether you're agile, whether you're hybrid, whether you're iterative, whether you're in the middle somewhere. It's an exam that tests your aptitude for project management. I laugh at people that are still in the dark ages thinking that the PMP exam is a predictive life cycle exam. That is foolishness. Have you not read the PMBOK Guide 6th edition CTTCs? Concepts, trends, tailoring, and consideration for agile. Because you're in an agile world does not mean you should be scope ignorant, schedule ignorant, cost ignorant, quality ignorant, risk ignorant, thinking about agile as being on an island somewhere away from schedule, cost, risk, scope, quality, procurement, stakeholder is foolishness. And the true agile professionals know that there is a direct map between anything agile and any knowledge area, because the knowledge areas are not predictive. People are making that mistake. Go read up this document. It's called The Talent Gap, Project Management through 2020. It'll open your eyes to see that this is not going anywhere. So whether you're starting off new, whether you've been on the journey for a long time, I am here to remind you that on no account should you ever give up on yourself. You can absolutely do this.